So I finally got around to watching the new Netflix original movie Okja, and it is weird as fuck. I love it. The brainchild of excellent Korean filmmaker Bong Joon-Ho, Okja isn't just a good film in my opinion, but something that also represents a massive step forward in the industry in terms of creativity and distribution. Now before I get into Okja, let's just talk a little bit about cultural elitism, also known as being a snobby twat. Okja caused a little bit of controversy recently by being an official selection of the Cannes Film Festival, one of, if not the most prestigious, or depending on who you ask, pretentious, film festivals in the world, and it got booed. Well, it didn't get booed per se, rather Netflix did. You see, the Cannes film goer, and using that term generally here just to describe the reaction of some that jeered, are of the opinion that Netflix is killing the industry because movies are supposed to be seen on the big screen and all that jazz, and Okja went straight to the streaming service, bypassing French cinemas. Okay, yeah, I sort of see your line of argument, you don't want cinemas to die. I don't either, I love the cinema. But to boo the alternative financing of an incredibly creative movie that, let's be honest, without Netflix would A. never have gone into production in the first place as it would likely struggle to find backers, B. definitely never have had full Western support had it gone into production, C. being a significantly lower budgeted film, and D. being a film that no one would have seen if it somehow did manage to get made as it would struggle to find both distributors and run a successful marketing campaign. Here was an instance where a production company went to an artist and had full belief in his vision, gave him a shitload of money to achieve that vision, and gave him the platform to spread that vision. And we boo this? What? I thought the Cannes audience was all about the love of the movies and the people who craft them. I mean, I get they didn't physically boo Okja, but they booed an avenue that let a great creator make something special. Just because what I can only really perceive as a, back in my day, we had to walk along the road to them picture flicks. I don't know why the French in this hypothetical scenario have that terrible pseudo-American accent, but my point that I just want to make, albeit briefly because there's way more to talk about here, but that's an essay in of itself and I still have to review the film, is basically, stop halting progress, you commie fucks. That was a joke. I don't think the Cannes audience are commie fucks. This isn't the Red Scare. I'm just saying, if someone gives a talent an ability to make something fresh, original and special, you know, maybe hear out the possibility that that is a good thing and that cinema is just evolving. I don't think streaming is necessarily going to kill the cinemas, though I understand the concern. I do think there'll always be room for date nights and the big old popcorn experience. If anything is going to kill the industry, it's studio giants with corporate agendas to meet that constantly interfere in the artistic process. You know, people like, say, Disney, who've been known to do that from time to time, but they're welcomed with open arms into the Cannes Film Festival? Oh, they're booed too. Are you guys sure you like films? Do you people cheer anything? So anyway, Okja. He has a somewhat surreal story that follows the classic formula of those old a boy and his dog tales, but swaps out a boy for a girl and swaps out a dog for a weird hippo farty thing. They can say this is a kind of pig all they want. I'm looking at a hippo-based Pokemon here and no one else can tell me otherwise. The story goes that a shady corporation known as Mirando want to sell genetically modified meat but also get the public on board with such a thing, and so they launch this huge publicity stunt where they send 26 of their newly discovered super pigs to farms all around the world, where they'll each be raised under different cultures. After 10 years, whoever has the best super pig wins, which effectively means nothing more than, hey, here you go, have a sash, we're gonna murder the fuck out of your beloved pet now. The super pig that wins is Okja, the best friend of South Korean farm girl Mija. And when her bestie is taken halfway across the world to be paraded around in front of Joe Public like a little prize hog before being taken to the slaughterhouse, Mija makes it her mission to get Okja back at any possible cost. It's a weird mix of tone and genre, starting as a condemnation of corporate culture with all the crazy bells and whistles of a Hunger Games fashion show, only to then switch to the quiet, peaceful lull of the South Korean countryside before taking us into something of an action movie, dabbling in a political thriller, throwing in some comedy, toying with the idea of horror, and ending on a kind of socially aware parable note that sort of blends everything that came before it. It shouldn't work, but it totally does. Bong Joon-Ho is a serious master of genre-bending features, and even when individual aspects of each tone he takes don't really work together, there's still a rebellious enjoyment to his filmmaking as he constantly seems to carry this earnest, heart-on-his-sleeve commitment to this kind of messy crafting, choosing to revel in the chaos rather than subdue it. It's totally his best feature as a clear auteur, because just when you think you're kind of falling into familiarity with this and that, he'll throw a complete curveball and knock your socks off. It's frenetic, but in a brilliant way. Every time Tilda Swinton or Jake Gyllenhaal came up to gloriously mug to the camera with the most over-the-top performances since Tommy Wiseau found a pile of money, I became completely absorbed in the bizarreness of it all. But when the film would slow down and go, okay, I'm going to want you to cry now, I'd be all like, psh, cry? I'm laughing my ass off right now. I'm not going to cry after watching Jake Gyllenhaal do his best Nick Cage impression. Oh my god, that's awful. Why is the world so cruel? You can tell it's a great story because the very first time I saw the title creature I thought, wow, does that CG look ropey. But as time went on, I was so in love with the relationship between her and little Mija that I completely forgot that Okja wasn't real, and the way this blubbering mass of special effects was directed and composed made me genuinely care about her despite how fake I felt she initially looked. Just goes to show that a good story can fix bad CG, but good CG can't fix a bad story. Isn't that right, Mr. B? Now, one criticism I've heard about this film, and one I thought I was going to share from the look of the trailers, is that it's a message movie. You know, those heavy-handed preachy flicks that no one likes because it makes them feel bad about themselves. Stuff like Saving Christmas, or God's Not Dead, or God's Not Dead 2, God's Not Dead Harder. And having seen the film myself now, I wouldn't say that's necessarily fair. I mean, clearly the film is not going, hey guys, you know what's cool? Battery hens. But it certainly isn't calling all meat-eaters blood mouths while waving a chicken in the air and yelling freedom either. To say that it has this pushy vegetarian agenda is to dismiss the fact that there's a large role played by an animal activist group that are almost certainly a parody or reference to people like Peter, who are equally compromised in their ethics and ideologies. The only truly good characters at the end of the day are Mija and Okja. And that's what the film is about, really. It's just this balmy, mental, eccentric nosedive into how big a bond a human being and an animal can have. If you're not watching this because of the supposed implications of it having an agenda, I would definitely say still give it a shot. It's not perfect and could do without a couple of the poop jokes, but other than that, it's really good, whatever your ideology is. Also, I just want to say I don't really get this idea of avoiding films because they have an agenda anyways. All films have an agenda, whether you realize it or not. Like, all movies want to say something that's in some way indicative of the writer or director's personal belief. You know when Toy Story goes, hey, there's friendship shit, it's fucking good, am I right? That's an agenda. It's presenting an idea that friendship is good. Like, it might not be an idea that's as at the forefront of its narrative as other movies such as District 9's obvious commentary on the treatment of immigrants, but it's still presenting an idea, and I can't think of a single film that doesn't. I mean, no one goes on about this idea of superhero movies being preachy, but they're forever banging on about the value of human life. Just because almost everybody agrees with the idea doesn't mean they aren't still pushing it. It's no bad thing though. I like it when films push a world perspective. It makes for good art. Sure, some films I disagree with the ideologies of I won't like, but that's because they're bad or unfulfilling, not because they don't share my worldview. Forrest Gump critics, for example, often argue it to be a very conservative movie, and I can sort of see that, but I still think the film's fucking great. The only time I think an agenda becomes a problem for any form of art is when it becomes preachy, and in my honest opinion, Okja does not feel preachy to me. It just feels like a cool, creative and colourful take on a classic tale. It's really fresh, it feels like something completely out of the ordinary, and I highly recommend it. Even if it wasn't great, I still respect films that try for something new and out there. But lucky for me, this one doesn't even need those bonus points because it really does manage to knock it out of the park with an almost Spielbergian-like bond between its two protagonists. Also, I totally want a pet Super Pig now. But also, I kind of want to eat one because everybody in the film keeps saying they're delicious. I'm feeling very conflicted. Another one bites the dust. The marathon continues. 10 videos in 10 days and I'm on the home stretch, all counting down to the big announcement on July 12th. So if you want to keep up on that, please feel free to subscribe and also like the video if you enjoyed it. By the way, if you're in the market for a t-shirt subscription service, why not check out T-Blocks? They give you an official piece of merchandise catered specifically to your interests every single month, and if you subscribe now with the referral code GeekyGlassesTBX, you'll get 10% off your whole order. That's all from me. Follow me on any social media if you want to stay updated with what's going on in the channel. Links in the description. And remember guys, July 12th.